All right, GM everyone. Hope you all are doing amazing today. My name is Jimmy, and today we are going to be exploring my journey into crypto and beyond. All right, so I know it's a shameless plug video, but nevertheless, we are going to dive in. But before we do that, I just want to give a big shout out to the entire super team community, right? Like they're doing amazing things. All right, so I want to congratulate them for their partnership with like CapExFi recently, and also to their entire ecosystem, right? Like they have the DAO, they have their talent pool, they have their partners, companies they collaborate with, and so on and so forth. So basically, they help onboard you onto like crypto and Web3, this whole industry, and they open different opportunities for you. You don't need to be crypto native. You don't need to understand crypto from the beginning. They're going to teach you everything. So go ahead and join their community, and I'm going to share more information as I go along through this presentation. So look out for that as well. So massive shout out to them and thank you so much. So now everyone's journey into crypto starts somewhere, right? Like I mean, I'm sure like in crypto we have this like different batches where we join. Some people joined in 2008, 2009, 2013, 17. You get the idea. 2020 and so on and so forth. My journey began in like quarter two of like 2017, and these are the two people who introduced me to like Web two. I mean Web3 and crypto. Okay, so to the left you have like Prince. His real name is Prince. Okay, so his real name is Prince. He's from Ghana, and as you can see, he's the senior digital marketer at like TravelClick, which is an Amadeus company. And also to the right, you have Umar Razi. He's from Pakistan and amazing guy. Both are like amazing professionals and they are doing amazing. And thank you so much for introducing me to that to Web3 and Web2 and like I mean sorry Web3 and crypto. And basically what they said was like, hey Jimmy, like they actually understood me, my personal like hobbies and my interests and so on and so forth. They were like, hey Jimmy, you like technology, you like marketing, you like finance, your education is finance, and I mean, you like this game theory and all these sort of like stuff, right? So, I mean, why don't you go and Google blockchain? I'm not sure the exact word, to be fair. And the thing was, they said, hey, go search for this, okay? And I went back home, I was working at an internship, after I finished the internship, I go back home, and I mean, I search for that, and then you just go down the rabbit hole and you get lost in the sea of information. Now, now you get lost, like many people get lost. They get scammed, they get that. Unfortunately, I was not the one to get scammed or something like that. But of course, like, and it was all credits to like Ivan. I don't think so he needs any introduction. I'm sure like everyone knows Ivan and Tech on the internet, or at least the crypto native people know. But anyways, if you don't know him, he was one of the prominent YouTube content creators, and he's a developer himself. So and back in the days, in 2017, when he was also just getting just starting to like actually put a lot of time into like his content, he was exploring like, he was teaching people how to actually code on these new blockchain technologies and so on and so forth, like Bitcoin. And back then it was just like EVM and you had Lisk and so on and so forth. So basically, he was teaching the fundamentals of like the development because he himself is a developer, right? So he's interested in that, and his content actually resonated with me because as a hobby, I do some programming, but r right now it's like challenging to find time. But like back in the days, I used to do. But anyways, so his content actually resonated with me, and he also went on to form this online academy called Ivan and Tech, and this was the logo back then. So basically, he taught the same things, like like how to actually program on this stuff, what is it, and how you can actually benefit from it, and why is this industry so revolutionary. So I went the rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole with him, and I followed his content all throughout the years since then. And of course, like I always wanted to give back, so I always wanted to give back to his community, and to the sort of like content and the knowledge that I actually acquired from his community. I wanted to give back. So in 2020, in quarter two, right around when the C19 was taking off, I had the pleasure to join his company and contribute back to his business. So it was massive. It was an amazing experience for me. I worked in the marketing role for his team, and I like you can see, with the company, it's been rebranded from Ivan Tech to, of course, Morales, and not just Morales Academy. Now they have the Morales Web3 cross-chain platform to where you can go and build apps as well. So it was an amazing journey all with Morales, and I really learned a lot from everyone. So big shout out to you, and thank you so much, Ivan, and your community, Liz, Philip, who's the CEO, COO, Chief Operating Officer. I really learned so many things. But now, one thing for me is like, what is the key thing if you ask me about myself, or like what do I value most, about success, or like about getting to that success point is communications. I'm sure like you would agree, right? Like I mean, communications is like it helps you organize, it helps you prioritize things, and it helps you like coordinate different things in a systemic manner, or at least sort of a systemic manner, right? So for me, it has always been the key to making a project or a program or a task successful. Okay, so what does that mean, communication? Okay, communication for me is like three different things, the ability to write, ability to speak, and the quality of our ideas. Okay, so those are the three basic things of communications in from my perspective. Okay, so I would love to know what in your perspective are the three fundamentals of communication. So leave that in the comment. I'd love to read that. Like I truly do love to do that. And yeah, so I mean, like I said, like the quality of your ideas is one component of like the communications, right? So, but now the quality of ideas, it forms the communication. Now, you need to actually like communication is not just enough. You need to improve that quality of communications over time, right? So, I mean, there are three different aspects or three different criterias I measure communications by. One is like knowledge, as you can see, it's a 60% weight over there, and practice, and then talent. So the ratio is like 60, 30, 10, as you can see in this thing. So 60% knowledge, 30% practice, and 10% talent. Okay, so that's how I try to balance it out, and that's always been my goal, to keep improving my communication skills. All right, so one other key thing, what it really excites me about like a Web3 and crypto is this word, edutainment. Okay, so yeah, so edutainment, basically, what is it? Education and entertainment. Okay, why education and entertainment? Okay, now the first thing is, I love DeFi. Okay, I just love DeFi. Who doesn't? Everyone loves DeFi. And for me, DeFi for me is the biggest entertainment of mankind, the world or the universe, the world has ever seen. Okay, so for me, DeFi is that, and it's just going to keep getting better as different products, or like more polished products, or more professionals come into this industry, just like yourself, right? I'm sure like you have different skills, and you're special, and you are in this industry because you're excited. So this is what excites me, DeFi. Okay, now let's put that aside. Now let's come to the entertainment aspect of things. Okay, social media. Okay, so social media, as you know, like coming from the web 2 days, like right now also, you use probably like I don't know, Twitter, Facebook, I don't know, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, Instagram, and all these stuff. Entertainment, right? Like YouTube and all these stuff, right? So I mean, so social media was the biggest entertainment of Web 2 revolution, and DeFi is going to be the biggest entertainment of entire revolution. Like till now, there's no other entertainment compared to DeFi. For me. Okay, so basically now, if we combine social media, which was the most important entertainment factor of the Web 2 era, and combine that with DeFi, you go, So now, if you need to actually understand DeFi right now, or because you need to actually use those type of dApps, and you need to connect your wallet and so on. So I'm sure like everyone does that. So in order to actually understand the risk behind it, you need to actually go ahead and educate yourself. So once you educate yourself, and now you are entertained because you are entering into DeFi, you combine all of that. Once you combine DeFi, and once you combine social media, which is the most important entertainment factor, you combine them and you form like social finance. Okay, so social social finance. What do I mean? It's the biggest entertainment of all time, which I think is going to come in the near future. And I'll explain you why, okay, as we keep moving along. Okay, so stay tuned. Keep this in mind. DeFi, biggest entertainment. SoFi is a combination of social media and DeFi. So basically, it's SoFi, right? So now let's continue. Now, one of the things what really is I would say when I was a bit, younger, let's say. So I would think like, hey, making mistakes. I would feel afraid of making mistakes. Okay, so now, because you always want to be perfect, like, make the perfect video, create the perfect video, publish it, and so on and so forth. It's all good, 100% clean, no ooh, and all that stuff. No fillers. Okay, so basically we don't want to be perfect, we don't want to be perfect. The thing is that most important thing what I learned over my professional and personal life is like, make the mistakes, take risk and make mistakes early. Okay, I'm not telling this to you, I'm telling it to myself as well. I keep telling me, I keep telling this to myself as well, and this is what I keep telling myself. I keep telling myself, look, hey, in school, university, or whatever, you're taught a lesson by your professor and then given a test. Okay, then you're given an exam. Okay, but in life, you're given the test first because, and then that test, it teaches you a lesson. Okay, so what does that mean? I mean, if you make mistakes, you learn the lesson. Okay, if you don't make mistakes, also you learn the positive lessons from it, and you carry that forward, right? Those all things combines, and it forms that knowledge, and it shapes your like your experience and your education and your practice and all these level, right? Like it helps you mature and all that stuff, good stuff. But nevertheless, and coming to like a couple of my contributions, I just want to touch on, so like I shared like previously, I was really glad that I was able to contribute to Morales and the whole bunch, like from Ivan Tech to Morales, the whole journey. And currently they have like two major products, Morales Academy and Morales like the Web3 platform to create cross-chain dApps. And I was really I would say, humbled by getting that opportunity to actually contribute to his business and his company and to the entire community. Okay, so that was really great. But one other also contribution I would just like touch on is, I'm sure like if you're into DeFi and all this crazy stuff, you must have heard of this like Casio hack, which was a stable coin and it was exploited and etc. etc. All these protocols like Saber, Sunny, and all these were hacked due to the liquidity pool and being drained and so on and so forth. So there was approximately like 52 million which was like exploited and so on and so forth. So Sans Eclectic over here, he and I, we led the efforts and we led the community in order to organize and to negotiate with the I would say like the exploiter on chain, and to be able to bring back like 38% of the funds back for the for different community members. So, and I'm sure like you must be knowing Sand Eclectic. If you don't, go ahead and just give him a follow. Okay, you know his handle over there, and I'm going to share within each of this video, within each of these images, you have links to all the information or the references. So I'll share the presentation with you as well in the description, so you don't have to worry about that. You can check that out yourself. Okay, so he needs no introduction. He's a massive, he's an educator, okay, by trade. And what does he educate about? Like crypto, NFTs, DeFi, and anything about like Web3 and what excites him. Okay, so he's an amazing professional, and yeah, and he's also the Solana Squid Prize winner, meaning like the people who actually contribute back to the whole Solana ecosystem. Solana awards them with that prize. So he's also the holder of that as well. So now, currently, my current initiatives or efforts is like I'm the CMO of like Chingari app and the GARI network. So I'll be taking care of like the capital markets and more importantly just marketing in general, the strategy and all these sort of things. But but I'm really enjoying. I've been there like 2 weeks right now, and they are an amazing bunch, like really hardworking and smart people. They're from different product level, marketing, ops, SEO, and all that good stuff. So they are an amazing community, and I cannot. I'm like. I cannot tell enough good things about them. Of course, you might consider it like biased, but really, it's like it's a massive business, and now think about like what I told you before. What is the most important thing? Like the edutainment thing, which is going to come up. DeFi is the biggest entertainment. We know that now. SoFi is even much more bigger entertainment. Okay, so this is exactly what like I would say like in the long term, Chingari would do because Chingari is basically the largest social Web3 social graph on on a Web3 network, let's say. So and it's a short video app, basically, and all the Web3 components are integrated within it. And I can do a deep dive into their whole platform and the ecosystem. But nevertheless, so I'm working with them as a CMO, and also they have the lovely NFTs, which are cute little pandas. Go to Magic Eden and you can grab one of them, so go make sure to check that out as well. And just to give some numbers, about like Chingari, how's the user base and so on and so forth. So as you can see over here, over 50 million active user base, and they have like 130 million downloads, 100 like over 130 million downloads, over 100 million like account signups to their short video app platform. Okay, so as you can see, like that's already taking off because it's social media, right? Like now, and now if we have the Web3 components and crypto components into it, it's going to make it that SoFi app, because everything like you say like NFTs or like whatever like crypto or DeFi or whatever, like all the primitives like stablecoin payments and all these narratives that we have, within crypto, it's basically DeFi in its fundamental layer because you're doing your censorship resistant transactions from one person to another, peer to peer, right? That's what we call. So it's basically DeFi after all, decentralized finance. Of course, like decentralized thing is questionable at the moment, but I'm sure like that's the path that we are going to go down. And of course, like it's a spectrum, right? Like it's just like swing from one spectrum to the other. Like, is it more centralized or more decentralized and all that good stuff? I'm sure you already know. But anyways, the other thing is, the GARI token, which is the token which is Solana native. It has approximately like 600,000 like GARI token holders, which is the fourth highest. If you look into SolScan, which is an explorer of like Solana, if you don't know what it is, what Solana is, Google it. Okay, so this is probably your entry into crypto. So Google SolScan, get into Solana and all the other networks, and yeah, it'll open massive opportunities for you, you know. So yeah, so as I was like I mentioned, I am the CMO of like Chingari. So basically, how did I get this opportunity? Okay, so Cash, from the super team community, as I mentioned in the right in the beginning, that we are going to discuss like some of the benefits that you can actually get is this, like once you join their community, it opens up to like different other opportunities within the whole ecosystem and massive opportunities. Okay, and you just need to have the willing to learn and willing to contribute and willing to be actively listening to other people's feedback, and just doing what you do best. You don't need to be a perfectionist in order to actually succeed, that we already know. But anyways, Cash was the one who actually, when I filled out the form, I'm going to share all the links. Like I said, it'll be also in the presentation. I'll show you shortly. But Cash was the one who actually, got in touch with me through Telegram, and it was like really warm. He actually understood my needs, because the form will allow you to select different options, mention about what you like, your interests are, what your contributions were in the past, and what would you like to actually contribute to now in the future. So I communicate all that to him. He read that, and I mean, of course, he analyzed all of my profile, and he communicated with me as well, and we organized different stuff, and he was helping me to find new opportunities. So big shout out to Cash. Cash, thank you so much. So yeah, I owe you one. Whenever we get the time, we can meet. And yeah, and also then my transition was to Dr. Prakash. Okay, so Dr. PRK.ETH. Okay, so he was the one who was my first point of contact when I was entering or onboarding into the Chingari company or the GARI network company. Okay, so he was also really welcoming, and he explained to me what the needs are, what like the priorities are, and he keeps mentoring me, I would say, and I learn a lot from him, about like different systems, different people in the organization, and so on and so forth. So both of them are highly professional and talented people, and like I said, like in the beginning, like I mean, you don't need to be like a technical expert or something like that. You can be like a non-technical expert as well, and contribute to the space. So these guys are amazing. They understand crypto, and they will understand your needs as well. So get in touch with them. Like I said, like I just took a snapshot of all their Twitter, and I linked also their Twitter profile to their images. So go check them out when I leave the presentation in the description. Okay. So now, now coming into like the other benefits about like the super team DAO itself, like as you can see, these are like screenshots of like the Discord. And once you join in, you will just start up by selecting what your roles are, what your interests are. So once you do that, like you see like different roles, technical and non-technical. Okay, so once you do that, you will open yourself up to like different other channels. Okay, and by doing that, and on to the right, you can see to the right screenshot, you can see like there are like different categories of like users or DAO members. Okay, so once you do that, like you have different categories. Okay, and you can reach out to Cash if you want to be a contributor, if you want to be a member, or if you want to be a part of the core team. Okay, so they have different requirements based on that, and you can always lurk around. I mean, in the sense like just feed off information, share information, just chat with people if you don't want to be a contributor, if you don't want to be a member, if you don't want to be in the core team, but you just want to vibe, so you can go do that as well, so you can lurk around, and people do that for many reasons, but I mean, yeah. So the other benefit is you get like different sorts of like job postings or like different opportunities, I would say more broadly. Okay, so different gigs you can get full-time jobs, and as you can see over here, the need is create content and produce video for GARI. Okay, so that's the need, and 10,000 USDC for 4 weeks. Pretty good, right? I mean, 1 month, 10,000, and is pretty good. So I mean, and as you can see over here, to the same screen, you can see this GDP, which says like 438,926. So that's the amount of revenue that the DAO members, the contributors, and the members have generated, for the community. So it's like if you do all these jobs, you actually basically add to that GDP level. Okay, so that is what it is, and every dollar counts. Okay, so make sure hit cash up on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, wherever you can, and get started with the super team, the talent network and the DAO itself. You will learn a lot about crypto, and more broadly, just it's just going to open up your network and different opportunities that you have ahead of you. All right, so yeah, so I have linked the form, like I mentioned, the onboarding form to the DAO within this image. So make sure to check that out, fill it out, and Cash will reach out to you via whichever channel you mention within the form. All right, so I also want to give a big shout out to these two people, because they helped me, like, they mentored me, because they're okay. First of all, like Austin, he was the first head of marketing of Solana, like Solana Labs. So massive shout out to him, because he has his own Telegram channel filled with like marketers who are coming into like crypto, and we are mentoring, we are sharing information, and we are learning from each other. And of course, he has massive experience, so we learn from him as well, and his experience as well. And Jeff, similar, very good mentor. I take a lot of advice from him. So thank you, Austin and Jeff, for all the mentoring and all the information that you guys share. It's been really pleasure to connect with you guys and to be a part of your community. Okay, so it's just a humbling opportunity, I would say, or an experience. So now, like, people always like to give advice, right? They want advice, or no, they like to give advice to others. Like, I'm sure, like, you love to give advice as well. So if you have any advice for me, leave it in the comments, okay? And I'd love to know that. But my advice for you is to go ahead and read this book, okay? So, yeah, the book is amazing. It had lots of pieces of nuggets that I always go back and refer to because I've highlighted it within the book, and it's a hardcover, so I mean you can highlight it and get back to all those points and remind myself all the benefits. And these all contributes to that first thing what I mentioned about like communications and like quality of communications and so on and so forth, knowledge, practice, and like talent, and also to the three other aspects or about like communication, which is the ability to speak, right, and the quality of ideas. Help me always simplify those, because simplicity for me is simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Okay, so that's what it is. And the book's name, for the listeners who are just like listening, it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Maybe you already have read it, and it's by Dale Carnegie. So make sure you check that out. Check this book out. That's the advice I can give to you for now. And of course, like, I mean, I'm Jimmy. Easily you can find my name on the channel, and you can find me anywhere on the internet. So yeah, you'll find my link on Twitter, and you'll get all my social profile links. You can reach out to me. And yeah, as per my experience, it's just 13 years of experience, and I did everything, like, startups to owning having my own digital marketing agency, all the way to like Nestle and all these other different mid-level companies or mid-level organization, or yeah, stuff like that. And in different roles, like technical and non-technical roles, because I like to play like multiple hats, and that helps me with my leadership skills, and also broadens my scope, so that I actually make better decisions, when the time is like critical. Okay, so it helped me actually shape that. Okay, so I would say like it's like the like think of it like Bitcoin. Okay, for example, if you're or crypto in general. Okay, if you want to actually understand crypto, people come from different walks of life, right? Like some people come here for I don't know, the finance aspect side of it. Some people come here just for, the game mechanics and the theory and the politics behind it, economics behind it, or, some people come here for the tech, so I mean, and all that stuff. Some people just come here for the vibe, the community and the vibe. So I mean, for me, it's like, of course, everything, every aspect of that like fascinates me, and that's why I try to open my scope always and try to understand all these aspects as deep as possible, because once you do that, it actually allows you to make better decisions, when the time is right. So because it gives you that like the overview of things, right? Like they say, like, you can't see the forest for for the trees. So it's just like that concept, so if you want to specialize, that's great. But if you don't want to specialize, you can just be like, T-shaped. You can specialize as well as you can have a wide array of like experience. So that's how I try to shape myself, and that's what it helps me in my professional and personal life. Okay, so and now I mean, of course, like I'm a student of crypto, like I mentioned, since like 2017. I was crypto born and DeFi raised. That's what I like to say because DeFi, because as we know, DeFi is the biggest entertainment of mankind until now. Okay, and it's just going to keep getting better. yeah, so here are some of the company and many things that I did in the past, apart from like Web3. So, yeah. And yeah, just to conclude now, I'm sure like now you know a bit more about me. I would love to know more about you, so get in touch with me. And yeah, so I just wanted to finish off by like, comparing or like, seeing how we evolved from like Web 2, Web 1, 2, and 3. So in Web 1, you had this like the aspect where you actually could just read of the static website or static pages. You had the era of like Yahoos and Netscapes, and you had that Internet Explorer browser installed on your computer just to install another browser and then forget about that. So that's the browser. That was the era, that was the golden era where we were in. That was the read moment. And then you had your social media networks, like I explained previously. Social media is like one of the most entertaining aspect about like Web3. And I think Web3, I'm sorry, about Web2, it was because with Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, because now, because in Web2 you could read and write, but Web3 is going to take it to another level altogether. Okay, so I mean, we are seeing that in practice. Again, it's so early, and we just see a 4 to 5% penetration of like crypto or Web3 across the globe. Okay, so there's massive opportunity for each and every one of you, because I truly believe like each and every one of you has that skill, that unique skill that you can actually offer to this industry and make this industry better and better and improve it all the way. Okay, not just for yourself, but for your future generations as well. Okay, so who knows where we are, in 10, 50 years, we may be in Mars, so I mean, we get that, the Elon part side of things. But anyways, so Web3 came about, and like, I mean, we not only had read, write, now we have the opportunity to own a piece of the internet. Okay, and there's a fine article which I've linked to this image by the state of crypto in 2022 by A16Z. I'm sure you know that. If you don't, Google it, you'll find it. So if you don't, I've linked the article to this image itself. So so that was about it. That was the rant. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you guys. Have a nice day. Bye now.